It's the NFL on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the football team and the Saints, and it's coming up next.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the top a moment ago. And we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Washington football team. Brandon Gardner, Charles Davis on hand, and CD, you look at Washington coming into play here, and this is going to be a heck of a chess match. This offense against a defense that will take no prisoners out there.
It's going to be a big-time battle, and I think that both of these teams have that mindset of, we're going to do what we do and make the other guys react to us. And we've definitely got a couple of headstrong coordinators who won't back down from the challenge. So this will be a battle of wits as much as it'll be a battle of brawn.
Joe Sly, the kicker, stands ready. And we are underway from the Superdome. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick back in 2015 out of Florida State, Jameis Winston.
Throughout his career, few have doubted Jameis Winston's ability to throw the football. The concerns, they've always centered around his accuracy and taking care of it. When he makes good decisions on the field, excellent numbers usually result.
Winston now to throw on first down. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And it's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Winston. He sets to fire deep. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And what was amazing to me was the fact he was able to get as much on the ball as he did because he was on the run. Normally, when you're on the move like that, you don't expect the ball to go that far. You would think you need your lower body to be involved. That was an all-arm throw.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
And that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and handle it a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now Winston. Throwing the out incomplete. That's Thomas. 7 yards to pick up there. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing before 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
Throwing, Winston. Under pressure now, it's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. And the center brings up to 6, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. For Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. To throw is Winston. And he's got his man on stride, complete. That was the 8th play of the drive, so it's somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Looking to cash in on this opening drive. Here's 3rd and goal. Kamara, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
That's a really good defense there, because they saw a heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So a long run gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Following the main field goal, wants to kick it away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. So out comes the Washington offense as they get their first shot. They'll be led by their veteran quarterback. He's been in the league for a while, since 2005, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And I think right now, we know what we're going to get with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Veteran savvy, a ton of know-how, and the enthusiasm for playing and teaching the game. almost second to none. But he also has a bit of a tendency to be a loose cannon with the football. Oftentimes that works out. Sometimes it costs his team, but never a dull moment when he's on the field.
Fitzpatrick on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carter. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in a place like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Marcus Davenport there to take him down. And it's a defensive end getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Fitzpatrick. They'll set up the screen for Blitzer. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a third down coming up. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And that will be incomplete. Had to pass there, third and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for third and short, because when it's third and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
So on fourth down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep, Marquez Callaway. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get a big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Jameis now on first down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
26.
To throw on second and 10, Winston. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a third and 10. Jameis to throw it. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down, right near the 24. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
Blake Gillikin on the punt now on fourth down. DeAndre Carter back deep. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they're ruling incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
A gain of 26.
That was good protection. No, that was great protection because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. Fitzpatrick going to give to Gibson. They'll manage to pick up about 4. 2nd down.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
From the 29, Fitzpatrick. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Just a gain of a couple there. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Buying time to his left. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Fitzpatrick. A throw to the flat here from McKissick. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. It seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Now Fitzpatrick. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And that is Clark. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel there to make the grab. And Washington has taken the lead. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
Now for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. A 10-play drive that time. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Joey slide out and kick off after the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
And just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 1st and 10, Winston. Nowhere to go. Here he lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And gets it back into the end zone. It's a full recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Sly on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
47 is the mic. 47 is the mic.
First down, Winston. And Callaway taking it in left side. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? A good passing down here. They send 3 receivers to the right of the formation on second down. Meanwhile, Winston throw complete there to Thomas. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage. And that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. That'll bring up second down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
On 2nd and 10, Winston. That's taken in by Callaway. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. An extra man in the secondary for Washington on third down. Here's Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Fitzpatrick now to throw on first down. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing again on second down. Fitzpatrick. Eluding the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The first down throw for Fitzpatrick. And that one will fall incomplete. The clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, Fitzpatrick. He's going to flip it out here to his running back. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So with 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. Now Fitzpatrick. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here's Tressway now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down, even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from that first half for Washington. And despite the big lead, they really did next to nothing throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage. We'll see how aggressive they want to be going forward. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Washington in a good spot. They got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Second half starts with a run by Gibson. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Fitzpatrick. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
First down, Fitzpatrick. And it's nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, Turtle really would have helped him there, but not to be.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick to throw it. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Fitzpatrick. And so good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
And until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the second half.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Winston. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
We you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. If they keep this up, they'll get to the end zone real fast.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 28.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point, and what's usually a direct correlation, very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
A first down throw for Winston. Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. Down he goes at the 23 and pick up a 4. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Jameis to throw it. He gets this one to Johnson. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. They struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd down and 4, Winston. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. The Saints on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Winston now. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up down at the 10. And here in the 4th quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
Following the interception here, Fitzpatrick. And he will find his man, Samuel. And they'll end up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Gardner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a playaway drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick now. Throw to the right here, taking in McLaurin. Touchdown. Terry McLaurin from 17 yards out. And the interception by the Washington defense leads to a touchdown. Still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead is up to 18 now. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Set to take over once again. Out comes the Saints offense. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Working out of the gun, Winston. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Saints on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Winston. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I can put my defensive cap on right now. I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on all the throws.
They'll throw again. Winston. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agree. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Here's Winston. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. This is Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
The Washington offense set to take over again. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. Here's Gibson to start the drive. Oh, he's got a and he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 50 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Formations, more space, but it's still a spot for power football. And we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle. And, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big, or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. A handoff running left is Gibson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there, because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
So 1st and 2nd down went the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. They'll go again with Gibson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He's brought down at the 39-yard line. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
We've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
So a victory here for the Washington football team.
And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.